All right. All right. We know the PlayStation 3 is out. Everyone wants one for that next-gen gaming experience, but it seems like most people want to make a little scratch off eBay instead of actually picking up the 6-axis and monkeying around. Now, was all that chaos really worth it? Am I going to get jumped tomorrow when I wait in line for the Wii? Lions and tigers and PlayStation 3s. Oh, my. It's The Loop. Joining us via satellite tonight to help us make sense of the PlayStation 3 fiasco from San Francisco, executive editor for IGN.com's PlayStation channel, Chris Roper joins us. And from Los Angeles, G4 gaming expert and Blazer aficionado, Jeff Keighley. Gentlemen, welcome to The Loop. Jeff, I want to start with you, sir. PS3, I mean, we know it was out of control last night. Absolute chaos at midnight. The gunpowder is still in the air. We can smell it. Was it worth dodging shrapnel for? Really?
Well, I think, you have a lot of, die-hard PlayStation fans. These are the guys that started playing with PlayStation 1. They bought a PS2, a PSP. For these guys, guys like us, we've been to E3s. We saw the dream that Sony promised back at E3 2005. We're
just jaded old-timers.
Yeah, exactly. But the regular guys I talked to in line at a Best Buy last night, I mean, they're just like, dude, it's like PlayStation has done me no wrong. I'm so excited about the next PlayStation. And these guys, it's an object of desire. So I think it's, is it worth $3,000 on eBay? Of course not. But it's like people it's an object of, a desire. They want it.
Well, Chris, do they want it? Do they really want to put this console in their entertainment system? Because it seems like people are getting shot over the chance to put it on eBay for some quick PayPal money.
A lot of these people have been holding out, and they didn't pick up an Xbox 360 last year. So this is their first step into next-gen gaming. And so, for them to stand in line for 2 days, they've been waiting 365 for it. So that's not really much of a challenge for them, raining or not. So,
but Jeff,
they're ready.
We've seen the prices on eBay. These things are going on average now, probably about $3,000 a pop. Are they just buying? Is it the super wealthy who are Sony fans? Are they just that impatient, or are some people desperate for some sort of compensation?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's part of that, right? I mean, you look at the lines, I think a lot of them are people just, profiteers who are just sort of looking to line up and turn them on eBay. I think the prices may actually go up even more in December because it gets closer and closer to Christmas. Parents are going to want to buy this for their kids. And the real question is, no one really knows how many Sony had last night out there. Is it 150,000? Was it 400,000? No one knows, and over the next couple of weeks, are they going to be replenishing the channel or not? Right. So it's, I think what's interesting to me is a lot of people that are buying it, I think, have never really seen a PS3 up close. I've heard some people that are pretty disappointed when they take it home, and other people that are just blown away by it. So it'll be really interesting in the next couple of weeks to see what sort of, the post-mortem is on whether people think is it worth the money.
Yeah, Chris, we can yak on and on about all the launch titles and whether or not there are any 8 or 9 out of 10 games there. But if someone spends $3,000 on this console, brings it home, unpacks it, and doesn't get quite the gaming experience they thought they would, are they going to be turned off of the PlayStation brand for life?
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, a lot of the big games are coming out in the next 6 months or so. And so Sony has a lot of time to win them back. But, I think people at least are going to be, fairly happy with the machine, even if they're a little bit disappointed from what they expected. But, it's a quality piece of hardware, and Sony's got a lot of going for it in the future. So,
well, I think a lot of people with PS3. To me, it's like I remember back Xbox 360 last year. Everyone was talking about the launch lineup was not that great, and was the system really worth it? And it's amazing. A year later, now everyone's talking about all these great games and Gears of War. And one game can turn around a system. Sure. So people buy a PlayStation. I think they know they're going to get Metal Gear Solid 4. They're going to get these other big games down the road.
But granted, Jeff, the 360 didn't release against anything next gen. So looking at the PlayStation 3 coming out now, how does it compare to what the 360 is offering now, or the potential Wii offering?
Well, that's the challenge. I think, PS3 probably actually has a better launch lineup than the PS2 did with Fantavision, SSX, and stuff like that. But as you correctly point out, there was no one else in the market. Now Sony's coming out against 360 with, an amazing slate of games. Gears of War, obviously one of the best games of the year. Rainbow Six Vegas, I've just been playing. I love that. I mean, a lot of great stuff. So does the
console pale in comparison, or is it a pretty good offering
I think,
right now?
Today, if you need to decide right now which system has the better games right now, obviously there's a bigger, a wider library of games on 360, but you're making a bet for, 5, 6, Sony will say 10 years with a console. So if you're only going to buy one, you got to decide, is it all about this Christmas? Is it short term, or is it longer term? Because maybe 360 next year we're going to see better games on PlayStation than Xbox. So you can't really tell.
All right, we're talking about years to come. Chris, retail price is interesting here because market research firm iSupply, they broke apart the PlayStation 3. They figured out what it cost. They figured that Sony is losing about $240 on each console. I mean, do you think Sony's war chest is big enough at this point with the errors that they've had to really sustain the losses on these consoles for years to come?
Well, probably, but you also have to remember that it's not just the computer entertainment division of Sony that's relying on the PS3 success. It's also like their entire entertainment division because, Blu-ray is a huge thing for them, and they want to get 100 million units or whatever into people's homes, so you have the Blu-ray there. So they're willing to take losses early on to try to make them back up in 3, 4, 5, 6 years' time now. So
all right, now
they can hold out for it.
I'm going to be waiting in line for the Wii tomorrow, and everybody's expecting it to be huge. Jeff, should I be worried? Do I need to wear Kevlar? I mean, is there going to be the same pandemonium we've seen over the PlayStation 3 for Nintendo's Wii tomorrow?
Well, I think you're probably going to see more Wii units out there at retail. So Nintendo's talking about, 4 million worldwide by the end of the year versus Sony with only a couple million PS3s. So I think you'll see, obviously the Nintendo fanboys are going to be there. I think there'll be sellout situations, but I think there'll probably be more out there available. So I don't think it's going to be quite as coveted just because there's going to be sort of, more supply out there. But I think the demand will probably be the same, if not more, than PS3. But let's hope they're plungers out there, not bullets.
All right. I want to thank our guests, Chris and Jeff, for joining us at the Digital Water Cooler. Thank you guys for keeping us in the loop. Now, it may be a while before everyone has their own PlayStation 3, but while you're trying to get one, be safe. And please, whatever you do, seriously, guys, don't pay more than the retail price. It just is not worth it right now. A little patience is going to pay off this time around, as we should see vast improvements in the games just a little while down the road if demos like MotorStorm are any indication of the true power of the PlayStation. Relax, breathe.